We're to the picks and bans here. Game number 3. Let's put up them summoner blockers. But your blue team, Anexis, winner of the first game here in the series, and a very handy win at any rate in game number 1. Team purple gonna be Dexter Is Actually Evil, and what a comeback in game number 2, Mr. Bird. I'm excited to see who's actually gonna finish out and take the win, and we already got some of those picks and bans coming out.
Yeah, alright, Twisted Fate Shen gonna be banned out from Anexis Esports. Still banning out pretty much very standard things, Twisted Fate and Shen, but the RA ban just like straight quote, please super hot fire, please do not catch me with that charm ever again. Very smart play that you used, and this Shen actually a very predominant play over there with that split push, and also there's teleganks coming in from the Stand United and the Shadow Dash. We do see Silver going to be picking up the Thresh, and the Duck actually picking up the Varus. Again, Silver been playing Varus pretty much exclusively through this tournament. We're going to see a little bit different play from him. On top of that, we do see the Thresh going to be picked out finally.
Ooh. I'm excited for a Thresh. Now, yeah, Kale and Zed didn't really expect those bans to go away. They were just so dominant in game number 1. But Thresh coming out and the first pick to boot, so big plays coming. I really hope so. Overpower going to be picking up Diana, and that leaves us with, what, Varus and Nasus. That's 3 for 3 for both of those characters.
Yeah, I mean, also on Misfortune going to be picked up as well. That's not a surprise to pick up the Misfortune, because that's the only other character Silver actually has played. But I mean, they already picked up the 80 carry. I'm not surprised that they're going to be picking up the Elise again. Elise wasn't too threatening actually during that mid-game, late-game status. I think Xaxus just didn't have a lane phase to really fight it out. I think for both teams this time, they actually don't want to do a lane switch up or a lane swap, hopefully. But if they do, Xaxus could be the taking the brunt of this one, and yet again, because again, Xaxus needed a little bit more time to farm up, just like how Rise farms up just little by little, just picking up pace. And unfortunately, Xaxus was the one that fell down a little bit during that last game for Anexis Esports.
Alright, so Elise now locked in, Leo from Korea. People are saying that Leo actually not that great with Thresh, so hopefully this will be a game to turn that opinion upside down. But, oh, a Nunu. Haven't seen a Nunu in bot lane since his nerf.
Yeah, Nunu gonna be picked up for the Duck, pretty much exclusively playing that. Yeah, he played Nami yesterday and Nunu yesterday as well, so I'm liking the Nunu pick. Actually, though, for Korea, did some pretty good stuff yesterday with Thresh as well. Again, he's played Thresh and Zyra pretty much exclusively. And pretty much at this tournament, when you're already at the qualification stage, you really don't want to show too much to your opponents on stream. I mean, you probably show them during scrims or whatever, but on stream, you're already qualified in. Every team is pretty strong for the next round. I mean, you don't want to give that extra advantage to meet your makers or alternate if you're going to be falling down to that 3rd, 4th spot. You don't want to give that extra advantage to Uncle Reckless Revenge or Esports for Life for that 1st or 2nd spot. So I'm not surprised seeing like the same kind of picks, especially through this tournament. I mean, you don't want to show too much and then get countered in the end.
Yeah, they definitely do not want to get countered, especially game number 3 where everything does hinge upon this win. And we had a Lux game number 1, I do believe. I want to say, though, that was a Nexus. Yes. No. It was totally these guys, because they flip-flopped and now we're back to here. So yeah, Lux again, Nasus again. We also had the KO and Zed repeat bans. Renekton actually, I think, has been 3 for 3 now as well. So I'm very curious to see what we're actually going to be picking up last pick here for Dexter, but that's going to be a Jarvan, very likely in the jungle. Don't really see Elise or Diana kind of giving up their lane spot for that. So what do you think? Diana mid, Elise top?
Probably. I mean, Overpower did play some Diana. No, actually, he didn't play any Diana during this tournament, so Diana is a new thing that's going to be brought out. It could be Elise mid and Diana top as well, but I mean, it's interchangeable for that, but it's probably going to be erratic with that J4. I mean, it's a pretty strong pick overall, and again, just looking at the matches before, J4 has been picked out quite a bit for erratic, so very cool to see him play something of a comfort pick. On the other hand, you have all the comfort picks in the world for the team with Dexter Is Actually Evil. That Gnosis pick, they've been loving that, but they've been also in a little bit of a tie with that ADC pick, Misfortune Varus. They're going to pick up the Varus this time.
Yep, Varus to go with their last pick, which is going to be that Malphite. So very likely Malphite top. NASA's very comfy in that jungle by now, and I don't know. We've been 2 for 2 for the lane swaps. If we put Malphite by himself and Elise by himself, I mean, it's not without the realm of possibility.
Yeah, I'm not surprised, and I'm pretty sure they're going to respond the right way for both teams. But oh my gosh, a 3 for 3 lane swap. That means, again, the game's going to go about 35 minutes to 40 minutes in, and especially for the pressure that's being brought about in this game, it's going to be immense for each team. So hopefully Anexis Esports can do something about this while Dexter Is Actually Evil, coming off of that Game 2 win, they'll try to clean up for Game number 3 and win out the series.
Alright, so we are into the spectator delay, which means the game will be coming to a start in just a few moments here, ladies and gentlemen. I have removed the summoner blockers. We are not on any kind of tournament or LAN setting. We're actually broadcasting this from across the pond in the land of the North America. But yeah, we do put up those blockers so that you cannot tell what your enemy is going to be rocking. Either way, some of the, spells, nothing really that different. Oh, this time Kikas rocking a teleport. That's new. But other than that, I'm going to go through some of the runes and masteries. What do you think of so far the lineup there, Mr. Bird?
Not really too much of a difference. I mean, some of the spells, like you said, not really different. Fu Sharpen and picking up the barrier instead of Celiver, who's going to be picking up the cleanse. Overpower picking up teleport, and yet again Super Hot Fire picking up the barrier again. So nothing really too different. The only thing I would say, the top lane, Kika is going to pick up teleport compared with his Zazas, who's going to pick up the ignite. I mean, Kikis is probably prepared for a 2v1 while Zazas isn't. And if Zazas is going to have that 2v1 standard, probably at bottom lane, it's going to be a very dangerous thing. So at Nexus, they don't want to do this 2v1 strat. If they do, they're going to actually come down on this one pretty hard. And on the other hand, Dexter Is Actually Evil does want that 2v1 swap, especially with that new Varus. That's going to be a lot of push. Blood Blade and that Varus, who gets his attack speed buff each time he kills a minion, 20%. And then after that, he actually gets a 40% attack speed buff once he kills a champion as well. So that's a big difference right over there, especially with the Blood Bowl on top of that. So a lot of push is going to come in from Dexter Is Actually Evil. And again, their late game is pretty solid. So, I mean, if I'm favoring one team, I would say Dexter Is Actually Evil. But then again, Anexis Esports has a lot of pick on their team.
Well, Anexis game number 1, I mean, again, kind of took that 40-minute sweet spot, but they were very powerful, and game number 2, it was just exactly the reverse. So going off just the pure momentum and adrenaline of winning that game number 2, I think Dexter might be in a bit more of a better situation. So I'm going to agree with you on that. I'm going to say it slightly favors them, but hey, we have seen Anexis pull off some brilliant plays so far in these games, so I'm not going to discount them quite yet, but you know what I really miss? I really miss Promote, because you would go new support with Promote, and then anytime you get a cannon minion, you just promote it and blood boil it. And you're like, okay, goodbye tower. Fortunately, you can't really do that as easily anymore, but still, with that blood boil on top of Varus, yeah, it's going to be a heck of a good time for him.
Yeah, that's probably the only target that blood boil is going to be on, unless it's probably going to be on, I would say, Malphite if they can get in. But yeah, I mean, you have Banner or Command, you could use that. That's a good item, right?
Right.
Maybe.
Right.
No.
I'm with you there. Alright, so we're not going to get able to get to that last rune and mastery, but I don't really see anything really too fishy coming out from anyone here. It's not like we're seeing another 30-0-0 Kale from Overpower. That was just hilarious in my eyes. But game number 3 coming your way here, guys. As you can see, the final game. I'm going to take that off because it's not next, it's now. FourCourtJester and the L3 IRD hosting the Riot EU LCS Promotional Series stream this lovely Canadian morning, European afternoon, and I'm excited to get this going, bro.
Yeah, definitely, and we're going to have just no big skins. I mean, just looking at everybody, Elise and Thrush not being built in the skins, it's okay. But overall, I feel like in Nexus, this is your hope and prayer to actually get into the better position. But then again, being in that 3rd, 4th spot, they might have something to say about alternate. I mean, they did play against each other during the LCS the first time, trying to qualify, and they could probably win out against alternate. So I wouldn't be surprised for them to try to pick up that spot, but they would have to get to that 3rd place game. So maybe Nexus is going for that positioning, maybe not. Maybe Dexter Is Actually Evil with this, well, great lineup with that the Duck coach with the Dexter sub from Dragonborns. And again, Kikas, we can never count that out. That experience that comes into play when you're on a team for so long and then transitioning to a new team and then just giving that experience, it's actually pretty immense to, well, keep in mind for this game coming up.
Alright, so we have loaded in once again 5 skins coming out for Dexter, and the Anexis kind of dropping the ball. I don't think we've seen more than 3 or 4 from them, but definitely not 5. Warring Kingdom's Jarvan, however, that Lubu skin, gives me nerd chills back to my high school days. But here we go, game number 3. Overlay should be good. Let me know in the chat if it's not. But once again, the EU Promotional Series for the LCS, Anexis, and Dexter Is Actually Evil, all tied up, and this is going to be the game for all the marbles.
Yep, and we're going to see if they're going to be doing a little level 1 invade. This would be the game to set up a bit of distortion. Getting that level 1 invade would be pretty key for the team of Anexis Esports to get some of that advantage back in. But they're going to play it pretty safe, and actually the team with Dexter Is Evil is going to play it pretty safe as well. We're going to try to get the ward in really aggressively. Yes, the Duck actually doesn't get seen now. He will get seen, but I mean, Zaz is going to go get that one down there. And we do see that ward coming out, just playing it really defensive for the Anexis Esports.
Yeah, it's going to be an Explorer ward, so it's not going to be lasting around that long, but it just will be enough to see if we are going to have ourselves an invade. Now, the invade last game actually ended up being really good, as we were able to pick up the first blood from the counter, but yeah, this time it does look like more just going to be safe. You see Fusharp yet again in that top lane, but you also see Misfortune up here as well. So we might have a lane swap to the lane swap, which means really it's just the same matchups, and that will actually be the first of this game series.
Yeah, it would be technically normal if everything was bot and everything was top, but we're going to have that switch up, so not a surprise over there. And I like the idea Dexter Is Actually Evil. They wanted to get that lane swap up, but at Anexis Esports, they said, well, they're going to try to do this. We're going to have to counter that, and they're going to do that pretty well. They're going to actually take these wolves over there. So again, experience not wasted for each team. Going to go try to share that up with everyone.
Yeah, once again, you do see, when you don't do those invades, everybody is in the jungle, everybody's doing something, everybody's getting experience before they do hit up that lane. So, yeah, it's going to be the red buff coming out here for Erotic, same there with Nasus, and it'll basically be the one-on-one bottom and the 2v2 top. Now, we also did see those golems going down to Leduc and Fusharp. God, I almost said the Nexus ADC. But yeah, Fusharp able to pick them. I'm a little curious that he took Ice Blast first and not Consume. Would have expected just for the extra burst just to make it happen. But either way, both of our ADCs now know that they're up against each other's top. So I'm curious to see if we're going to see really quick towers, because that was kind of the overall early game theme from game 1 and 2.
And I don't think we're going to actually see that right now, just because, again, lane phase is going to be pretty much just normal in the sense that I think it's the bottom lanes at each other and the top lane, well, respectively, are at each other. So we'll see if that will change anything, and especially, again, having Nasus pick, going to have that late game, well, advantage in that one champion is going to be pretty key. But I just feel like Anexis, they're going to have to try to make something happen a little bit in the early go to really change the tide for the momentum right now.
So Leduc not exactly feeling so healthy right now. He didn't actually ding level 2. He did come to lane a little bit late. He was able to help out Nasus pick up his red. So there we go. Now we got that level 2 on him, and he goes Blood Boils. So he's not going to be the healthiest. And he does have a little bit of mana regen, but no consume. So we're just going to have to think on that one. Not going to be able to get that sickle, the death sentence from Leo Korea. But yeah, okay, maybe the chat was maybe a little bit right. We're going to have to keep an eye on how many he does actually miss.
Yeah, definitely. And Rock now, they're going to try to go over here to pick up a gank on the Kikas. Kikas doesn't back away. He did already place wards pretty early for himself, but the thing is, with the next minute or so, those wards are going to go disappear from there. So bottom lane is going to be very dangerous in the next little run.
Yeah, a lot of damage actually still landing on top of the rock, but at least versus the rock, they're not going to be interrupted really anytime soon. A lot of wards going down from both teams for that river. In terms of the top lane, a little bit of a creep advantage coming up from Salaver, but you know, Leduc and Fusharp with that Blood Boil, he should be able to keep up fairly easily. Does have that Doran's Blade, so
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's a little bit easier on the message system, but yeah, I'm looking at the chat right now. I'm not gonna miss up the opportunity to say something about the just aesthetics of the game. So definitely thank you guys for keeping up with us, and unfortunate for that.
Change it from the other ones, but hey, say little. It's all good. Either way, still everything going down. Nothing really like of huge importance. I mean, people are trading back and forth. They're healing up. They're trading. They're creeping. The junglers are jungling. Everything is right in the world. Erotic, not exactly the healthiest, but he's going to get caught out by here. The ward, Super Hot Fire, should not get caught in this. Maybe trying to bait it out. Yeah, I think he's going to bait it out. Erotic, however, is going to jump in. Here comes Dexter. This is not looking so good for him. He is going to flash, but it will not matter. First blood coming out. Really nice bait from the mid on Dexter, and they're going to take a quick first blood.
Oh, this is not the position Anexis Esports wanted to be in. They take that. They take the loss of the first blood. Super Hot Fire's going to take that blue buff as well in the lane. Overpower in a lot of trouble actually right now. And we do see Leo from Korea actually take a top kill.
Yeah, top kill. I was looking at Overpower. I was like, that's interesting. He didn't die, but hey, Nunu down. That's okay. Overpower is going to have to go back to town. He just could not deal with this person. He gets caught out by another binding. That would be that. Zaxxas has actually pushed Malphite back behind tower. Kika's not looking so healthy either. So all three lanes, you see similar fights going down, but it was a kill here. Mid was a kill top. Didn't get the first blood bonus, but Anexis at least putting a kill on the board.
Yeah, Nexus is gonna go get that one for Leo from Korea, and he's gonna be able to pick up that kill, get that extra Sight Stone or something really early. I mean, he has Ruby Crystal prepped up, ready to go, and he'll be getting that as soon as possible. Kiki is gonna actually get out of here from bottom lane. This matchup actually, Malphite versus Zaz's Elise, thank you. It's actually a pretty dangerous matchup for Malphite. I mean, Malphite's kind of a tanky champion, but the only problem is tankiness is good for Elise because that venomous bite, the neurotoxin damage percent health is just pretty good against healthy champions. And on top of that, Malphite is a armor-based champion. I mean, he builds off of armor pretty well. And I like what they try to do there. Unfortunately, I don't think that's not the way to go.
I noticed that as well. It's like, so Labra's going bottom. Okay, cool. Leduc's already there to meet him. Vara's now about to join him. Fu Sharp. So lane swapping the lane swap yet again. Still cannot find those 2 versus 1 situations. But both teams having very similar ideas about what to do after those kills going down. So yeah, we're just going to keep on trucking 1-on-1, 2-on-2 mid. Still kind of just going shot for shot at this point. But we do got that early Chalice now on Super Hot Fire, the Chalice of Harmony, so we might even see an Athenes for him. Couldn't tell you the last time I saw an early Athenes, but then again, he might just keep it as a Chalice and go for something else.
Yeah, it's definitely reverting back to about early Season 3, late Season 2, when the Athenes of Holy Grail was just a very, very core item in the beginning of the games, but with the magic resistances and everything changed out a little bit. Yeah, very interesting to see that. I mean, we could go into Merle and Mycon, which is another thing a lot of mids trying to do, and Kika's going in for teleport.
Yeah, you saw that coming in on the bottom. That's going to be a good pickup if they can grab the kill on top of Leo, but a nice flash is going to save his bacon this round. And oh, we got the responding teleport here from Overpound. Not entirely too sure where he's aiming. Maybe looking for Leduc. Does get exhausted. Nice double up comes in as well from Calaver, but Erotic not able to make something happen here. Do we got level 6 on top of Super Hot Fire? We do. We have level 7, but he's going to come down. I'm not too sure it's going to be in range for a snipe, but it's Party in the bot lane right now.
Oh, Party and Dean and Celever taking a lot of damage right now. I mean, he did not get to level 6, and that was pretty much the only thing he was kind of probably angry at. If he had level 6, he would have secured the kill onto the Nino really easily. Unfortunately, he was not level 6, and no, can't do anything about that gank. And it was unfortunate for that response of it was Overpower who went down at the bottom. I mean, he just used the teleport to just respond to the teleport, but there's no real immediate danger for Nexus Esports after Thresh got out of there alive. So I was unfortunate for both teams, but again, teleport for teleport down, that is a very, very key thing that we'll look at in the later go.
Yeah, we did trade off a lot of different summoner spells back and forth. We had exhausts used out. We had a lot of flashes used out. The teleports are now down. No kills to come out of it. Maybe some creep advantages coming in from both sides, but you know, we did teleport bottom here with Overpower. Lux, you know, she hoofed it. I mean, so it wasn't exactly like she was in lane really farming up. I mean, she has been now, but we got blue on overpass. He's going to be able to come back, clean up this next creep wave. He has dropped a little bit, however, in terms of the farm up against Lux. She's now sitting at almost 20 creeps advantage, but that's okay because Zaxxas is actually up almost 20 on top of Kikas.
Yeah, Kikas just had a really hard time against this Elise, and Elise is just doing a really good just poking pressure on Malphite. I think they're going to try to go for a lane swap, but if they go for a lane swap again, that's going to get pressures for this dragon, and Anexis Esports has been a pretty good key into controlling that dragon, controlling that lane, and Errata coming in through that Thresh gank.
Yeah, the lantern mechanics are definitely fun times sometimes. We didn't see the Cataclysm go off. It is up. I guess we just didn't see that situation. I don't think they actually knew Dexter was there anyway, so as soon as they saw him, they're like, okay, mission abort, not a problem. But yeah, jungle pressure on top of this dragon, and the bottom pressure is kind of key, especially after 10 minutes, because we have seen dragons as early as this in this game series.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Dragon was taken away, I think the first game around 10-minute mark, 10:49, and hopefully Anexis can try to do that again. But actually, Dexter is looking to actually prime in. There's a lantern over there to see that Dexter is already in the area, and he's actually going to try to solo this by himself.
Is he really? Wow. All right, Fury of the Sands going off. Dragon going to be dropping 3,000 hit points to be. I don't think we actually. I didn't see any pings go down, so if they think that he's doing it, they have to kind of confirm, and yeah, they are going to confirm with that. We're going to flash in there. Blue team will steal it with Erotic coming over the side there with Overpower on top of things. There's the bullet time on top of that. Going to grab a kill. Lux, however, able to get through responding, and Erotic, I think he's just kind of stuck down there. That's all right. In comes Leo with that Thresh, looking for the last kill. Double for the laver, and now Lux is over the wall with her own flash, and she didn't even take down Erotic on top of things. So some really sweet plays coming in from Nexus as they clean up that one very handily.
They kind of had an inkling that something was happening, and especially with that lantern at the end. I mean, they saw that Gnosis was actually positioned in for that dragon, so Dexter was actually going to be getting something done. And unfortunately, they didn't see Dexter actually rotate into the middle, dive forward over there, seeing that no river kind of action was actually happening from Dexter. And, well, they just fought right. Dexter was in the jungle, I mean, he was in the dragon, got killed for his little transgression, got stolen from the dragon as well, and a great bullet time that boot did really catch with that one.
Is this going to be a kill top? Yeah, the flash into the flash, the ignite taking him down, and the last Venom's bite from Zax is able to grab the kill on top of Kikas. 5-2 now as the Nexus not only took down 3 kills bottom, but now another one top. The Dragon Steel on top of things, and almost a 2,000 gold lead has developed here at the 12-minute mark.
Yeah, great job from the Anexis Esports, just taking advantages when they can over that top lane and keeping up. I mean, generally the CS is going to be a little bit higher just because they've been making more plays for Anexis Esports. I mean, for Dexter Is Actually Evil. But, I mean, they're keeping up in their advantages when they can for their gold, and getting that extra little bit each and every time will change the game when they can.
Overpower thinking he can get the better of this exchange. Super Hot Fire saying nope, and actually gets that. But they did both ward at the same time, so it kind of maybe a split second decision. Now we do see Misfortune once again not going for the Blade of the Ruined King, the Bork, but has the Vamp Scepter BF, so we're very likely to see a Bloodthirster in the next few moments. But, you know, Varus 3 for 3, going for the Bilgewater.
Yeah, we're going to be seeing the Blade of the Ruined King start up, and then the damage output with maybe an IE, maybe they change it up with the Last Whisper. Playing from behind with a Blade of the Ruined King is a little bit harder, so we'll see how that will work out. But then again, Misfortune going to go into a Bloodthirster. I would like to see a Black Cleaver. I like that kind of combination with the magic or the shred that you get instantly from the armor penetration, but then again, it could be just Last Whisper build up right after that.
Ooh, Laser gonna get expertly dodged out by Overpower, but once again, not able to go toe-to-toe here with Lux. Now we do got a Jarvan down here. Unfortunately, he was spotted out by the ward. I was kind of expecting a Lantern mechanic to come in, but they do know he's there. They're not really gonna push this out. They're gonna deny him that kill potential. That's gonna force him either to do that tower dive, or they're just kind of gonna waste his time. I'm thinking more towards wasting time at this point.
Yeah, that's probably going to be the key. Erotic just sitting there. They know that he's there, like you said, and hopefully they just kind of farm up when they can. But all this pressure is just bringing it into this sentence. Yeah, I want to take it down the turret. We're going to take it on turret for a turret, although mid turret is a little bit better than the bottom turret.
Yeah, but that bottom turret could land into a nice team fight. That was a full-powered Empire ult coming out from Nunu Leduc. Really nice timing there, but ultimately we still trade out 1-for-1. Here goes the, wow, the flash from Celebre actually going to avoid the unstoppable force from that teleport on top of Kate. That's going to be the pentagram just to try to delay them. Do we have the teleport up from Overpower? I think it got interrupted because it's on slow cooldown. Either that or he used it to get back to mid, but either way, do you know if which way he used that?
Clever or Celebre when he used
Overpower.
Actually,
his teleport's down, and I didn't see it come bot. So did he use it to get back to mid to try to save the tower?
I'm guessing it was either saving the tower or trying to just respond over in the bottom lane, but I don't think that really does anything in bottom because for mid because Super Hot Fire doesn't have any actual hard CC. It only has roots. So yeah, I don't know. I wasn't actually watching that one. Okay. Sorry about that.
No worries, no worries. So either way, the teleport didn't happen. Overpower didn't come bottom. Doesn't matter. We were able to trade out 1-for-1. They got the tower up top. Zax is able to take the tower. That's a 2-to-1 plus the global gold advantage from the Dragon. It's, you know, the gold lead is starting to get there for Anexis. Almost up to 2,000 gold now. Actually over 2,000 gold now. About to pick up a red buff here from Erotic, but Overpower mid. Yeah, this Diana hasn't really worked out against Lux yet.
Yeah, I mean, Diana has been just more of a menace all around the map instead of actually in lane and Lux. When you actually have a free farming Lux, it's not a really good thing for the team of Nexus, especially with the damage that Lux can do in a short amount of time with all the cooldowns that she has. So, a little bit dangerous to play with that fire, but we'll see if that fire will not catch them back in the backside.
Now, this might be a kill on top of Kikis. Does not have that tower. I think he's just going to try to dodge out the cocoon. He did slow down Zax, so the cocoon not going to be able to hit. So yeah, just enough slow from him to make sure that he does get out of that one. He did have the flash up in case he did need it, but really nice timing and sense on him. Saying, yep, don't need to use it. I'm going to save it for another day. Overpower still mid, still kind of not looking so hot. This could be a really devastating gank coming in if he got caught by that binding, but he will not. And we got a lot of pings going down here. Dragon should be up like, what, I want to say the next 60 seconds.
Yeah, it's going to be coming up really soon, and Erotic barely getting out of that one, the skin of his teeth. They only, unfortunately, noticed a little too late to actually converge from there. Leduc probably picking that one out for the team, and unfortunately, Nexus are going to be able to be fortunate out of there. On the other hand, Dexter could have taken advantage of a bad mishap.
Yeah, there it is. Dragon's now up. Erotic's going to be there. Yeah, Zax is kind of coming in the lane. It's like, oh, nope. I didn't want this lane after all. 4 people in there. The nice binding will hit Overpower. Erotic tries to jump in with his Demacian Standard. Does not find anyone, but this is fully warded up. We do know that the Dragon's here. And, oh, wow, we're actually going to commit right here. There's the Unstoppable Force, and the laser is going to drop Erotic down to half. Bullet time going to go off. There's the Pentagram as well, as Zax is going to go up, looking for the kill in the back. Is going to be able to grab 3 shot before going down. Leduc going to be playing a little bit of interference there with that Empire style. Oh, it doesn't matter. Cataclysm going to get the dunk. So Lava able to take home that kill, and all of a sudden, once again, Anexis coming out of that one ahead. But do they have enough to take down this Dragon on top of things? Super Hot Fire is still there. The final spark is just a little less than a quarter on the cooldown, but a nice pickup on top of Overpower. And that's going to be the death sentence run on kill, but not quite as you get that flash from Super Hot Fire. He grabs the double. Dragon does go down to Erotic, but I think Kikus might be able to pick it up. Nope, he's going to flash for it, though. Looking for the slow. Can he grab the skill on top of Erotic? Erotic's going to drop real low. Come on, and it will go the way of Dexter Is Actually Evil. So, I think it was 4 for 4 in the Dragon.
I mean, yeah, it was a 4 for 3, I think, for Dragon, and very, very still good take for Nexus Esports overall. I felt like Lux probably could have sniped that one at the end, but it could have just, you know, just backed away with it. Didn't save the final spec for a lane clear or something like that. But overall, a really smart take from Nexus Esports. They dove in, dived onto Fusharp. Fusharp couldn't get any effective DPS at the end of everything. So that mid-game, during that fight, it was just very, very strong. And Overpower should be able to get this kill on Akikis. I think he just stepped overbound onto that bottom lane.
Almost the juke out. Yeah, Overpower should be able to pick that one up. between Moonfall and Lunar Rush, and he does. Good times. 10 for 7, and yeah, you're right. It was a 4 for 3 because Lux and Malphite were back out. What do you think, though? I mean, they stayed. Anexis really stayed kind of late for that dragon. They were able to pick it up, but they paid for it with 3 kills, and that kind of tipped it back, not into their favor.
Yeah, I would say that Nexus now is going to have to worry about this Lux even more than the Varus, and they're going to have to dive onto that. I mean, the Lux right now, 500, going to be building into a def cap on top of the Fiend's Holy Grail. That was already built out earlier. I mean, she's going to be a very big force to reckon with, and if she's not going to focus down again, this is going to be a dangerous time for the team of Nexus Esports.
Yeah, she has full cooldown reduction with that blue buff. The Fiend, of course, does donate a little bit to that. A lot of people top. It's Salaver, however, got a danger ping. I'm not entirely too sure what exactly happened there. But
he might be decent.
Yeah, did drop under half. Ooh, 2 people actually quitting out. That's not good. Overpower and Salaver, Gaming House DC, GG. Somebody in the chat though said, "Is this a team from Poland?" And somebody said, "No, it's Proland." I thought that was pretty funny.
I mean, both teams have some inkling from there too. So I really appreciate all the teams that come out from different countries as well. I mean, the Polish teams, the Russian teams, and everybody else over on the east side, on the west side, Belgium. I think that was Acer and all that. Spanish team with Wizards Club doing a really good job. And some of the UK scene is really developing in the EU. So a lot more teams coming into play, but I just feel like EU is just expanding really, really well. And I really appreciate every summoner that plays out there and competes daily for whatever prize they want to do for each tournament that they go for.
Yeah, if there weren't tournaments, commentators would be out of a job. That's for sure.
Yep.
I like having a job, even if it's just all purely promotional work, but still, it's good to keep busy, right?
Exactly, and unfortunately unfortunately for everybody in the Nexus house, I think they're gonna go reconnect in pretty soon. But again, guys, we're playing for positioning. This is the tournament that's gonna decide seeding for the Riot summer promotional tournament that's gonna be coming up. I think Abortion said May 5th to May 8th.
Yeah, I believe it's just after the end of the month.
Yeah, so definitely do check out the Ligapedia link. I hope one of the admins can, because you dropped that in. I'm locked on my cursor. But Meet Your Makers #1, Alternate #2, Uncle Rekus Revenge #3, Esports for Life #4. #4 will play the #1 of this tournament right now. It's looking pretty good for Nexus. Maybe they can win out that matchup, but we'll see if that actually will happen in the next few minutes.
This is not good.
They're disconnecting and reconnecting again.
Yeah, this is not a good sign. I'm actually gonna change it back to this. And that's right, I can't move my mouse. Okay, I guess I won't change it to that because I can't put up a wait now message. So yeah, okay, we'll stay here in pause land. Pause land is nice and slow and static. You don't really move too much in pause land. You know, all right, so we're 19.5 minutes in. Typically, we've been seeing more than 40-minute games. In terms of the cash, 2 grand, 3 kills. Towers are pretty even. I want to say the dragons are even, but I don't know why. I don't think they are.
It's actually Nexus up by 1.
Yeah. Okay, so they're not even at all. In terms of the cash, I mean, let's take a quick look here, lane by lane. Elise, 122 to 83, up over about 1,500 gold. Pretty decent lead at that point. The junglers are about 400 apart. It's a little less, or a little more than the junglers, a little less than the top lane for the mid, as they're actually pretty even. But that 5 kills on top of Lux, yeah, that puts her ahead about 700 gold. 404 in Misfortune. Again, like with the previous games, you know, Varus was a big key instrument in game #1, and then game #2 got shut down really hard by Misfortune. Misfortune, 404. Of the 10 kills, she's been part of 8 of them, and she just far and above this Varus right now, over 2,500 gold.
Yeah, Silver has been doing some great positioning skills, and especially building into the Black Cleaver that's going to be coming up really soon for her. she's going to do an immense amount of damage. And if you can get a great Moonfall from Overpower, or if you can get a great Pentagram the Box coming in from Leo from Korea, onto the whole team of Dexter Is Actually Evil, you're pretty much going to say GG to that, because the Anexis Esports with that 404 Misfortune, yeah, she is pretty ahead of the Varus right now. Looking at some of the other items, those Seeker's Arm Guards being built up from the Diana, gonna be trying to build into Zanya's probably second item. I think Abyssal Scepter should be the first item built out from her, and that's not really surprising. Abyssal Scepter has been pretty key for Diana's just in general, and especially with that Moonfall and that burst damage that you get from Crescent Strike on top of the Lunar Rush. It's not that bad of a kind of duo combo, damage on damage on damage kind of duo combo. So very cool to see from the Elise over there. And I don't know, nothing really else to really be seen. Malphite building into a lot of things. It's probably going to be building up to a Sunfire Cape with a Spirit
I want to
Visage.
say that as well, yeah.
Yeah, that's probably the best of ideals that Kikis can do with that Malphite.
Yeah, it's great when you have a frozen skin Malphite that builds a Sunfire Cape. It's like, it's an oxymoron. He shouldn't exist. But yeah, a burning frozen rock, definitely something that you do see more and more often. We do got the Blade of the Ruin King on top of Varus. As I said, he's kind of really behind on top of Salaver. And I guess you are going to see that Cleaver, huh?
Yeah, Black Cleaver, I mean, it's very cool to see, and especially with the combos that you can go up with, it's pretty instrumental in all these fights, especially with Misfortune Bolt Time. You can pair that up with the Cataclysm Moonfall again in the box coming in, but a lot of DPS that comes out from just the team as well of Nexus. While on the other hand, you want to build up for that late game, you already have that World Lux. She's already at that Deathcast status. She's going to do... I would say if Celaver / Cella can get out there, it'd be good, because yeah, Lux is gonna keep on just biting in, and we're actually gonna get the resume from this one.
Woo! Yay, resume and fix my camera. Nope. I guess not. Never mind. Yeah, again, worrisome. Very worrisome. Game number 3 is not when you want this stuff to happen.
I think this time though you can fix your mouse button. There you go. It's gonna resume again, and we're gonna go.
Yay, mouse is fixed. Great. Okay, so hopefully that will be the end of that silliness, and everybody is a-okay and here to play 100% of the best of their ability. So we have gone over a little bit in terms of the gold, in terms of the items. Basically, it just comes down to, you know, what are each team gonna do next?
I mean, pretty much the next thing they're gonna have to do is pretty much control that Baron. I mean, they need to get that ward positioning ready for that, but pretty much control the lanes. And seeing where the waves are actually coming in, they're pretty much right now even in the river. So they're gonna go next to Esports, at least gonna try to pressure up mid and bottom yet again. Try to get that mid tower first of all, and also try to just pressure down for this bottom lane so that they can take Dragon pretty easily. On the other hand, Dexter Is Actually Evil probably wants to actually shove down mid a little bit more, but with Celaver over the top, or sorry, not Celaver, Sharp over the top lane. I'm so used to seeing Varus on Celaver, but Sharp over in that top lane, it means that Dexter Is Actually Evil is just probably just content with actually farming up whatever they can. I mean, Kikis is really far behind 93 at the 134 on the CS score, 136 to 163 on that bottom lane score between Sharp and Celaver. So I mean, the money's going to be there, but then again, I don't know if this is actually Dexter Is Actually Evil just saying, well, we can't contend onto anything. Let's try to just get an item of critical mass damage and just try out to win out a team fight, which might be very undoing of them.
Well, a lot of pressure coming in here mid. We do got a 3-man Anexis push, so they're going to get met by some pretty heavy resistance here from Dexter. That's actually a good pick off on top of Erotic, but unfortunately he is able to get out of it, so it's not going to be as much damage as they did want. Now, he didn't go this round for that quick Iron Solari Locket, aka the socket. Yeah, great. But Erotic does have himself that Runic Bulwark. Seems to be very popular. We also have one there on that Nasus, but look at the damage come out from that bullet time. The Black Cleaver making waves with that kill, and that's going to be a downed Lux and very likely a downed mid tower.
Yeah, Silver just doing a great job. Even though getting CC'd at the end, it did not really matter. As long as the damage came out from bullet time, it was going to be enough. And although that was a pretty preemptive kind of strike, Overpower missed off on the Moonfall. A great follow-up from Zazas on the zone with the Cocoon, and Leo from Korea with that zone off of the Destins. Made sure that Lux was going to pay for his life.
I was curious to see if we were going to chase him into the jungle, but right now we have scattered Dexter to the 4 wins. Kika's still up top. It's a little bit of jungle play coming out. There's Lux now coming back alive. Tower's not actually going to take as much damage as I would have expected with Misfortune there, but the entire team of Anexis is sticking together. Trying to remember when the dragon went down. I think it was around the 20-minute mark. We kind of had that
It was
pause.
like 18 or 17-minute mark. I can't remember, but it should be coming up in it should be coming up in a minute or so. Ooh, that could be caught out over there. Well, Duck's gonna push in, and we'll see how that will go. Yeah. Really quickly, just re-mentioning some of the old games. So the Duck played Nunu in the first 2 games of Millennium. He went 0-4-14 and 0-6-17. I mean, he's at the 0-4-3 mark right now, so he's kind of channeling that first kind of series again. I mean, it's late game. They're looking for Dexter Is Actually Evil. Although, I don't know, Anexis Esports might be just keeping it going on this roll train because they have such a damage output coming up from Misfortune, and now Diana's kind of rising as well.
Yeah, she is rising, but she can't quite match the AP output of Super Hot Fire. He does have himself 2 of his items going for those. I'm not entirely too sure what he wants to make the amp out of, but he does have also the regular boots. Kind of expect those to become Sork shoes in a bit, but it's definitely the Super Hot Fire advantage in terms of pure AP. In terms of the score as well, I mean, that was his first death, 5-1. The only person actually to beat him out so far in terms of scores right now, yeah, Celever, 5-0.
And Celebrated building into a last wish for debut. He's going to be doing an immense amount of damage. I would have liked to see him actually probably building the IE and try to rock out from there. But it's been pretty much Anexis Esports with the control of every team fight. They get the poke, they get the prod into the team, and then they get the pulls or the hooks onto the team of Dexter Is Actually Evil. Can they finish this one up? It is going to be the Misfortune, and here comes the engage.
Yeah, Super Hot Fire in the back, just trying to get on out of that one. We do got the Spirit Fire and Wither in there. We got the teleport coming out. Kikas teleport in and then just kind of get on back out. Nice knock up into the Cataclysm for that bullet time. The laser comes out, not enough to finish off Erotic. But hey, Dragon down, and that seems to be the only one. Although, look at the long-range combo between Virus as well as Lux, almost able to bring down Erotic and Zaxxas to their deathbeds. Not quite. And all the dust clears, however, no kills.
I was really surprised when Kikas came in. He teleported in. Didn't he actually use it all? It's still up, and yeah, he just kind of waited out. I guess Dexter said we should not fight this. We've lost both these team fights. We can't just keep on just giving out these team fights each and every time. On the other hand, Anexis Esports, they probably should have engaged a little bit harder. I think Elise was a little bit out of position because he dived right straight for Super Hot Fire and did not actually get the kill. So they said probably just back away. They took a lot of damage from Dragon and nothing really came out of it, but that's pretty much apprehension from both teams. Really just slowing down that pace into trying to fight out that team fight.
11-7, still about a 4,500 gold advantage for Nexus. Up that tower, up a few dragons now on top of things. And in terms of the items, it's kind of getting silly for Misfortune. Like, she doesn't go for that IE, but she does have the Last Whisper. And in terms of things completed, you know, 3 plus the boots versus only really the Blade of the Ruined King. Like, if Varus is going to be going that IE style, he's really behind on it.
Yeah, and it's looking like what he's going to be going into a big amount of damage in a little bit of burst time. Again, attack speed is a little bit different in the price range, so it's unfortunate that it gets kind of mitigated to the 35-34 minute build where damage is just up front, always on the all time. I mean, that's kind of given with the characters that are picked in, or summoners that are picked in for the ADCs. You have Misfortune with Pure Shot, so you do get that attack speed bonus in that mid-game go once at rank 5. And then you have Blood Boil plus on top of that Varus passive, which we talked about before. The attack speed is going to be immense once he gets technically a reset, but just 1 kill onto his soul.
Ooh. Super hot fire actually able to take his blue despite the contest that was going on between him and Anexis. So again, the long range aspect of Lux kind of playing out to their favor. So no blue here for Anexis. Well, okay, no double blue for Anexis, but overall, you know, we have seen now Thresh going around, has himself that Oracles, has been clearing out a lot of different wards, and as you can see, the map is fairly empty of vision, at least from this top area. I mean, like, we got the 2 blue wards, there's nothing, absolutely nothing there for the Baron, so if we do go for that Baron steal, or that Baron bait, it's going to be totally blind from Dexter.
Yeah, it's looking like Dexter is going to be able to, well, hopefully secure it in a little bit. The Duck is going there right now, going to try to ward out, but there is still an Oracles, like you said, that's going to be on there, so they're probably going to be able to clear those wards up in a little bit. But I really don't like the position where Dexter's in right now. They're just responding to each and every take that Anexis is doing. Anexis right now is just pushing in the lanes, getting that free farm up. They have this golden lead over 5k, and this is actually pretty immense at the 27-minute mark, which when we were talking about before in game 1, game 2, it's been like a 1k golden lead even up to like the 35-36-minute mark. So this is actually going to be a big snowball in a little bit, being like 6 or 7 minutes, but yeah, it's going to be a big snowball for Nexus pretty soon, and they're going to be doing a lot of damage if they can pick off 1 or 2 people of Dexter.
Well, it's going to really come down, I think, to the next team fight. Who's going to be able to take it home? Are we going to see the tie-up here from Dexter and probably the even of the gold, or are we going to see that snowball start commencing if we can get more kills here from Anexis? Right now, they're not entirely too sure what they want to do. They want to invade, they want to catch someone, they want to gank, they want to push. It's just going back and forth. Overpower still doing his split push maneuvers. Does have that teleport up and ready to go. We don't have a teleport on top of Kika, so as you can see, he's just kind of hanging around here, not too far from his team. Doesn't really want to go into kind of no man's land. But as I say that, he's going to go straight top. So we might be able to capitalize, do something mid. That's a cocoon, and that's a thresh into the dunk from Erotic. But no, there's no cataclysm. So no dunk. My bad. Either way, Lantern Mechanic will get him to safety and no kill, but, you know, Fury down.
Yeah, Fury down with that ultimate down, but now Super Hellfire in a little bit of trouble. Gonna shield himself, get out of there as well. No summoner is being burnt. There is no pressure from actual team getting in there. They from Korea are gonna try to get a hook in. So you see the ultimate coming down, and we do see the bottom turret gonna be taking a lot of damage. Overpower gonna try to 1v1 to FourCourtJester, and FourCourtJester gonna get out of there with 50% of health.
Yeah, but that's also going to be the double turret for them. Erotic's going to get out of this one with that Demacian standard. I don't think the Unstoppable Force can actually reach him. Binding not going to hit either. And again, split pushing maneuvers seem to be winning out here. That's going to be the Ghost. That's going to be into the Wither. Here comes Kikas as well. And this could be a sticky situation for Overpower. Here comes the rest of the team. Lantern going out, but he's nowhere near it. Overpower still, however, not taking that much damage. He does have the Seekers as well as his Zonias. There's the Unstoppable. Trying to bring him down. The Pentagram goes out. Now Kikas kind of facing off against the entire team. Laser, however, will take out the Jarvan, and Kika's very likely to go down here. I don't know. Overpower will grab it with that flash, and the rest of the fight, Dexter's going to drop as well as Thresh. Actually picking up that kill, believe it or not. Thresh sitting at 3-1-5, and the other one that went down was FourCourtJester. Yes.
Yeah, FourCourtJester went down into a little bit of a clumping, and you never want to get clumped up in between a... Well, Thresh can lantern you out of there with the flay and the damage output that goal against Silver has been such an immense force. Gonna try to pick up this last kill over here on Super Hotfire, and Super Hotfire gonna burn the barrier, but it's not gonna be enough. That's just to pick up that kill. They're really near toxic.
Yeah, so as I said, you know, who's going to win the team fight? 4 kills to 1, double towers, triple tower actually with this one down, and the inhibitor. I gotta say, that gold lead has almost doubled from that team fight alone.
Yeah, and when looking at the damage output from everybody, the winners of this one for Nexus, like Silver getting that 606, coming out from 505, picking up a little bit more gold. Giant's Belt. Random's Omen probably, or something to that sort, because you had that attack speed coming out, or yeah, Warmogs as well. But Warmogs in the nerf state, I would be really surprised if it was actually Warmogs. We do have the Zeal going to be popped in now as well for Silver, and he's going to be the key to talk about. Unfortunately, Dexter can't really get to that backline, especially with what Overpower's doing to stop them, and also with the team comp that they have. They can't really dive onto Silver, and Silver again 606. He's just doing pretty much free damage to the whole team of Dexter, I don't know if Dex can really respond to that. They're gonna have to do some pretty high hijinks or something sneaky to get at least ahead or somewhat back into this game.
So Varus has now finished up his Infinity Edge, 31 minutes in. I think previous games we saw him get it around the 27, 26 mark for the double combo, and yeah, Misfortunes was able to solo down Dragon. Here comes the rest of the team for the funsies of it, but yeah, at the 37, just before 38-minute mark, we'll see another Dragon, and I gotta say, board coverage is so far, I think we need to get a Oracles in and around here for Dexter.
Yeah, Dexter needs to clear up all of those wards over there by the Baron Pit, but unfortunately, I mean, they have the pink, but they can't actually take out that ward because they have so much no coverage over in the jungle of Anexis Esports. Dexter has been pushed around each and every time, and they've been letting it happen, unfortunately, and we'll see what Anexis can do to keep up this game. Probably close this one out, especially up with that 15-8 kill lead.
You can see Leo from Korea making use of his oracles just to, again, clear out that Baron pit. Got to keep the other team guessing. Is it Baron? Are they baiting? Are they just using this as a tactic to confuse us? You know, a lot of different things you can do when you do rob away the vision from your enemies. Now I'm looking at Dexter. In fact, I don't think we've actually looked at Dexter's Q yet today. He is sitting at 210. So 210 at 32 minutes, far and above better than last game. It is a Baron getting DPS down, 4 people, and it's Overpower just kind of running interference. So absolutely nothing Dexter could have done by that, and I'm a little afraid for the next team fight.
Yeah, Overpower might have just bit his own bullet, but it's only Leduc and Dexter in that top lane, so they're going to be able to exhaust down on the Overpower, and that's one in summer spell that is very important during fight down. So great win for Nexus right there at the skirmish. And, well, free Baron coming out from Nexus. Again, the war covers the immense pressure that Nexus has been bringing in. There's nothing that can really stop them right now.
Down goes the turret. 2-on-1 even. Overpower didn't really take that much damage from either of them. As I say, like, Leduc really doesn't exactly do the damage. In fact, I'm not too sure he's going to do anything in this team fight. He's going to get off the absolute zero, but very minimum damage. 2 inhibitors down. Here comes the back from Kikas. He's gonna just, he doesn't have home, he doesn't even have tier 2 boots. Doesn't have home guard either, so yeah, the defense a little weak from him right now. And 2 inhibitors down, Mr. Bird. It's looking extremely good for Anexis to take this game.
Red team's turret
yeah, they're able to take out the top turret as well, and they're going to try to push over this top inhibitor, the only real inhibitor turret up anymore. And now we do see Zazus and everybody just trying to poke away. Ooh, good catch onto Leo from Korea, but not enough damage output to be onto him to finish with the kill.
Yeah, not quite yet, but still, you know, 5-man pressure top with a Baron buff, 2 inhibitors down. The other lanes are just going to auto-push themselves. We don't really have to leave top, and the Nexus can just bide their time, wait for the creep pressure from the other lanes to stack up. People leave, they engage, win-win situation.
Yep, definitely, and we'll see what the team of Anexis Esports going to do. I mean, they have a lot of money on their backs right now. They just got Baron, they just got 2 turrets as well, plus an inhibitor debut. I mean, they should go back and buy if they need it, really, but then again, they've already been showing pressure. They might as well just keep on this pressure on that turret right now.
Now Overpower, he's going to make something of this. He's going to go try one-on-one up against Malphite. Malphite's going to try to come back here to the herd, but that's going to be a laser. I saw an unstoppable force after that. Flash, pentagrams, and cataclysms, and bullet times could not take down Salaver, and he's going to be able to grab a kill. Probably this double. Yep, down goes Nasus. A valiant effort. But still, it is not enough to bring down this Anexis team, and we're going to end the game a little earlier than that sweet spot, Mr. Bird.
Yeah, 35 minutes in, it should be the finish up. Fushark going to be taken down right quickly. Zaz is going to be taking a lot of run, and it's going to be Overpower taking a lot of damage, but not going to be enough. And Nexus, my man, that is going to be the game going out for them today.
Good game, well played. A 2-1 victory for Anexis, and they will move on to tomorrow's matches. Now, we are going to have the 3rd place in finals tomorrow. I'm not entirely too sure if we're covering the finals. I heard maybe a rumor that Quickshot and D-Man might make an appearance. But if that is not the case, then we will be doing 3rd place. Either way, Riot Games, the guy that made all this happen, he's in chat if you want to hit him up, find out a little bit more about tomorrow. Big props to him. And geez, those are some pretty awesome games. Well worth getting up at 5 in the morning for, Mr. Bird.
I will have to agree with you on that, and I especially was looking out for this matchup of Nexus and Dexter Is Actually Evil. They had probably the best amount of games coming into this one, and they have pretty much the lineups, both of them, for really upsetting some of the LCS teams. So both the teams, congrats to them doing some great work today. Unfortunately, Nexus is going to be going on, while Dexter Is Actually Evil going into that third place matchup, going to try to fight against alternate or meteor makers.